one of the MCU properties that's been coming that honestly I haven't been paying a lot of attention to because I honestly don't find it that interesting is the What If animated series. Now, I will say though, back at the last D23 that Disney had, they showed some footage from it. That felt like it was a couple of years ago now, but they showed some footage from it and I'm like, all right, I'll check it out. I watched the trailers and the trailers didn't do a whole bunch for me. But then again, the trailers for Up never did a lot for me. The trailers for Coco never did a lot for me. And I ended up loving those things, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So last night, and Disney even sent me the first 3 episodes of What If, and I just didn't watch them. So
come on, man.
I just didn't watch them. So last night I decided, you know what? I'll watch the first episode because the first episode dropped last night and we're going to watch it. So I sat down and watched it.
You weren't.
I wasn't impressed.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't do any better.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, the one they led off with was Captain Carter, I should say.
Okay, the Captain Carter one.
Is the one they led off with. And you got to understand, I love the Peggy Carter character.
Yeah.
I'll still call her Agent Carter because that's what the name of her show was. I love the Peggy Carter character. I love when she even pops up as old lady Peggy Carter. I love when she pops up at the beginning of Ant-Man as semi-old lady Peggy Carter. I love the Peggy Carter show. I mean, I like Peggy Carter.
I didn't know about these. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. So here's the thing though. The concept of What If is, okay, what if things went a little bit different? And that's exactly what it was. So, I mean, and this image that you guys are seeing in front of you right now, this is, of course, a replay of the classic image from the first Captain America movie where him and his troop burst through the door, guns blazing, right? Only this time, instead of Steve Rogers there, it's Peggy Carter. And that's really was the whole gist of the show. It's like, okay, take Captain America, the first Avenger, but at the point where Steve Rogers becomes Cap, Peggy Carter had to get into the chamber and she becomes Captain Carter. And then from there on out, change a few situations around, but instead of Steve Rogers, it's her. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with it. I didn't dislike it.
Yeah.
It's not like I watched it and went, oh, that sucked. No, it didn't suck. It's not bad. I just remember watching it and then thinking to myself, was this worth staying up till midnight to watch? Watching Loki was worth staying up till midnight to watch. Watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier was worth staying up to midnight to watch. Watching Wanda was worth staying up to midnight to watch.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not going to be doing that for the rest of What If.
Yeah.
I'm just not. It's like, okay, I get it. It's a cute little novelty where they swap in or swap out a couple of things, and there you go. It's not bad. If you've got some time to kill in the afternoon and you want to watch something, yeah, give it a watch.
How'd you like the animation?
The animation wasn't bad.
From the trailers, it looks very unique.
It's very distinct. It's a very distinct style of animation. And it didn't bother me. It's not like, say, Invincible, where I love the show, but the animation is pretty Walmart animation. Again, better than I'd ever be able to do. This was much better than that. So it's a very unique style of animation. And Steve Barossa in the live chat says it just the way I'll say it. It was fine. It was fine. It's no Incredibles. It's no, the ones I mentioned before that I wasn't crazy about the thing. It's no Up. It's no Coco.
The dialogue, the story didn't move you. It was just kind of like,
yeah, it's about a half hour
kind of
long.
like a friend describing to you, hey, what if this happened? And it's like, yeah, what if?
Interesting concept, but
but it's not like, whoa, what an idea. Oh,
there just really wasn't much to do with it. Now, listen, every What If will be unique. So maybe the next one will be different, but I'm just watching like, okay, so if this is the basic idea, we're just going to, instead of this guy doing it, this person does it. It's like, okay, but I've seen this before and it's all right. It's not bad. I don't have anything bad to say about it. It's just that it was like, I don't think I plan on watching any more of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just not worth my time. I don't know. Where's your anticipation level been for What If?
I'm really excited for it. I'm really excited for it, especially because Marvel's done such a wonderful job with all the many characters that there are, and there are a lot. we're invested. I'm invested in all of them. So the idea of kind of seeing how would Drax do in this situation? How would Peggy do in these shoes? How
Right.
would, so I look forward to that. And so I'm actually excited for it. But now I'm like, I'm still excited, but now my hopes are not as
Here, you know what
high
would
as
have
they
worked better?
were.
Here's what would have worked better. Because what happens is the story pretty much starts off with the events that lead to Peggy having to jump in the chamber instead of Steve, right? And so she comes out as the super soldier. And then what they did from there was just walk through kind of the events of Captain America, the First Avenger, with certain things changing and whatever, but it was pretty much the same. What would have been more interesting, I think, is if they started the show with showing the events of her having to get into the chamber, and then in a 1-minute montage saying, Peggy Carter then went on to help defeat Hydra and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then started with after the defeat of Hydra. And just give us, if they just said, okay, so now Peggy Carter, Captain Carter, helped defeat and help win the war, but her exploits were not over yet. And if then they picked up right after the war where she was going on some other mission now, if they had done that, I think it would have been a lot more interesting.
I like that idea. I like that idea. I mean, I think it's interesting also because there's such great character development in the Avenger series that it's so specific because Steve being Captain America was so important because he started out so small. He started out as that mighty guy that's so small in stature, but his heart is just larger than life. So to see someone else, like, unless they're going to start, unless it's going to be like a little itty bitty Peggy, then it's kind of a whole different story, just like different shoes, because the characters in the movies that we know and love, their story is so central to their personality and who they are. It's not like, and I saw some debate about like, oh, anyone could have played Iron Man. And it's like, well, it's really boils down to that personality and their story. And so that's why I'm very interested to see how would this person handle this or this person handle that.
I'm not trying to dissuade anybody from checking out, because like I said, I didn't hate it. And I think it will. It's all subjective. It's definitely going to appeal to a bunch of people. Not everybody, because I'm hearing a lot of mediocre reaction from it. But some people are going to really quite like it. Again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm not trying. If you were thinking about checking it out, I'm not trying to dissuade you from that. Definitely go and check it out. I'm just saying it didn't thrill me.
Well, let me ask you this.
Sure.
Because I guess I've read that Marvel is developing their own animation
studio. Yes.
So is this kind of not, I mean, obviously not all the reviews are in. It's been on for what is it, 10 hours now? Do you think this is not a good jumping off point to their animation division of like, look, for our first animation, people should be like, wow, that was dope. Instead of like, that was all right, Like, is this a bad omen for their animation? I don't know.
Look, it's one episode
Yeah.
of their first property.
Yeah.
Again, to me, if this is their execution of the what if concept, but that doesn't mean they can't have other stories and other concepts that they do that couldn't be great. So I wouldn't think this is a negative outlook on what they can do with
that's
animation.
good.
So
Yeah, that's
I don't
good.
know. And again, let me emphasize, because I know a bunch of people are going to start, wow, Campea hated what if. I didn't hate it. It's all right. It's all right.
But sometimes all right is not.
It's just not.
Because here's the thing. Some of the films that have gone down in history, it's because people either loved it or hated it.
Yeah.
The meh goes into the fog, and that can be a problem. So I'm going to have to check this out when I get home.
Do check it out. I would be curious to know your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, the question is for you. Did you have a chance to check out the first episode of Marvel's new What If Captain Carter? It is a character that I love. If so, what did you guys think about it? Jump on down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.